as the title of this video, take your damn responsibility. Taking responsibility is not easy for anyone. Most people, not at all. But it's well worth it. When you take responsibility for your life, you no longer hate life. You are no longer resented by life because now you finally accept that your actions are your own. Most times I see responsibility being taken is when they're on high stress. There's something very stressful that's getting to them. And people will be willing to change something to do it. And that's where I see it the most, responsibility taken. But when I don't see it is mostly anywhere else in life. Even if it's a light stressor, people still would not take responsibility for it, Ignorance can get the best of most of us. I see responsibility isn't taken by people that don't think things all the way through. That's where most times I see it, is when people don't think things all the way through, or aren't open enough to things to think it all the way through. Responsibility would rarely be taken, because why would they take it? There's an easy route. There's the easy way, just follow rather than lead. So I see that with a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they should really check about it. They should really look about it. They should really look at it and think about it. Because if you do not think about what you're gonna do, and I'm just talking like basic, just what you're gonna do with your life, you're gonna have nothing. You're not gonna be able to do anything. You'll just be useless. You'll have nothing, you'll be nothing, you'll do nothing, because you have nothing. You have no aim. There's no goal, there's no thing you want, there's no nothing. And if there's nothing, you'll get nothing, because you're not working towards anything. And most people, they'll just follow whatever the last generation did, like literally most of the time. Whether it be schooling, whether it be peer pressures, talks. Literally just look at them, look at your parents compared to you. You're so much like them on just a natural level. But you can get out. You can not really break out, but just find that way out, which then you can go do other things. Once you take responsibility for either it be your financials, your socials, your mental, your emotional, your health, basically. When you take responsibility for your health, you're finally not pissed off at the world. You're not pissed off at other people. You don't let that get in front of you. I know it's not easy to come out of pain. When somewhere in your life there's pain and you need to change it, it's not easy. It's really not. Because you don't want to look at it, you don't want to see it, you don't want to do it, you want to ignore it. That's the natural response. But what you can do is, if you take responsibility for this thing and for this situation, and you try to see ways that you can improve, it may take time, it may take a little bit of decision making and just really getting to the core of yourself, but by the end of it, you will be able to turn that pain into ease, and that pain more into satisfaction, more into fulfillment, rather than just, having pain. So where do I see responsibility also not being taken? I want to go back into financials. You see, most people, it's the same thing. The culture scape is the same in America, and it's like, get a college, go do your thing. It's been like that for like, how many years? Like 100 years, 150 years. But when it comes down to it, recently I went to a real estate live event, and it showed me how to make money with real estate, but not just any real estate. Because before that, I've looked into real estate a little bit, single family duplexes, how they work. And I went there and it showed me how to make money off of like big places, like multi-family places, like apartment buildings more like. So from the small 20 units to the 400 units that they were talking about, they were telling you how you could make money off these places, and it actually surprised me by how much knowledge they had and how actually little cost it really had. You didn't have to have any credit because you get it from like a loan from the bank, and you get like, but since it's an apartment, it's the building that it pays for. It's not your credit. So it was really odd and really cool. And you actually did not need any money to put into it because there's this acquisition fee that you can get later, and you can use that to put down on the thing to make and improve the place. It was great and it was really cool. And it went through a lot of things for financial freedom. And that really opened up my eyes, and I know that I totally want to do it, you know, once I'm of age to just go out and do my own thing. So it was really cool. Point is, the thing, having freedom for your financials, doing stuff with your health, doing things with people, it's all a responsibility, a moral responsibility, as Jordan Peterson puts it. Love that dude. It's all a moral responsibility to take care of yourself. And if you're stuck doing the same thing every day, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not stuck. You're just in more of that state that sucks, but when there's ignorance, because you don't want to feel that pain and stuff, like it hurts. Like it will hurt, but the truth gives you ground to build off of. And if you have no ground, because it keeps yourself in illusion and just staying out of it and not doing anything about it and doing dishonesty with yourself, you are just gonna be stuck in chaos, man. Like your whole time you're just gonna be stuck in chaos. So responsibility is getting down to it, because you can ground yourself and you actually have somewhere where you can build off. If you have a base, you can do something about it. And I find that usefulness way more important than just going out and ignoring it for such a long time and then just waiting, realizing, oh, I could have done this like 3-4 years ago, because it actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I was putting it on a pedestal and I was making it seem so much worse, but it was actually not as bad as it actually was. And you look at it and you know it can be dumb. You know it can be stupid, because everyone knows that we should not ignore our problems, but we do because they're painful. But the problem is that when we ignore them, they just get bigger and they fester, and more problems arise because of it. So that sucks. And again, back to that responsibility, man. Back to that responsibility. And if we stay in that ignorance, man, we get dark. I mean, like, we get angry, we get fearful, we get pissed off, we get shameful, we get guilty, all because of ignorance, of being ignorant to life and what is God. So don't let that ignorance get the best of you, all right? I know we literally are naturally programmed, literally, naturally, psychologically, to keep ourselves safe. And the brain does not know any difference between, out here and in your head. And when you feel those emotions, which are in your head and in your gut, it thinks it's out here, and you're put into that flight or flight space, and it tries to protect you. So what we'll do is it'll try to move it aside, but don't move it aside. Or even if you do delay it for a little bit, go back to it. You will thank yourself later. because then it will just pile up, and it'll be one thing after the next, over and over. So take responsibility, one, for your financials. Take responsibility for your health and wealth, for your social game, communal game. Connect with yourself. Get it down. You need to take responsibility in life, or your life will just be a mess. It will just be a mess. You won't know what you're going on, what you're doing. You won't know what's going on. You won't know where you're going. And most likely you'll just end up doing the same thing that last generations have done. Because there's no aim, there's no goal, there's no nothing. So if you want to live an awesome life, if you want to really live a whole, fulfilling, awesome, loving, courageous, fucking awesome life, you gotta have some sort of goal, some sort of aim of where you want to go and where you want to see yourself. What's your vision? What is your vision? What are you doing? What do you want? Obviously, you're gonna have to learn it as you go along, but just do it. Just start. So, just have that vision, take that responsibility, and really take life into your hands, not someone else's. So, I'm gonna leave it off at that. Yeah. Hopefully, and I mean hopefully, I will see you in the next video. It's all a moral responsibility to take care of yourself. And if you're stuck doing the same thing every day, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not stuck.